Hello, I'm Janice and I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be all about Korean snacks. Now, I've previously done a video on Korean food, and in that video we covered Korean barbecue, Korean soups, Korean noodles, Korean desserts, and this video is going to be more about Korean snacks, although some of these things to be featured are quite substantial and are a meal in itself. But we're going to be heading to two different suburbs today, and we're starting this video off in Eastwood. So without further ado, let's head to the Korean side of Eastwood and start this Korean food tour. The first spot for today's food adventure is MIRA'S Korean street food, located right next to Eastwood Station. Here, like its name suggests, you can find a range of Korean street food on offer, and what we're having today is Tteokbokki and the classic kimbap. So a kimbap is like a Korean sushi. It's got a range of different ingredients on the inside. The one that I ordered has like carrots, has eggs, has the crab meat, and also a series of different vegetables like pickles and also cucumber. And in terms of the rice cake, it's a spicy rice cake. It's got some spring onions. It's in this spicy sauce. I think it also has some fish cake as well. So without further ado, let me show you exactly what they look like and we'll dig in. Our first bite of the kimbap. I don't know if you can tell, but the exterior, so the seaweed part, is just glistening. I can taste like the flavor of kind of the sesame oil, but then there's also a lot of different textures in it as well. Of course, there's the rice, and then there's the seaweed, but then there's the crunch of the pickled vegetables, and then you've got that softness of the egg and also the crunch of the carrots as well, and the sprinkle of the sesame on top as well. It's pretty nice. And now we move on to the spicy rice cakes, and in here, as I was mixing it around, I can already smell how spicy this is going to be. There's also some fish cakes as well, and there's quite a bit of spring onions, which I appreciate. So without further ado, let's just give this a go. It smells spicy. This would be perfect for winter. Okay, here we go. The Korean rice cake. Most people would not find this spicy at all. I find it a little bit spicy, but it's got really nice flavors. So even though, you know, it's got a bit of a kick, you still want to keep going back for more. And the fish cake. I love that. These rice cakes are very chewy. It's got a really good bite to it. And in terms of flavors, it just takes on the flavor of the spicy sauce that it's in. The chewiness of the rice cakes just makes it so delicious, and it's really hard to stop at just one. And if you come here, even if you're kind of full, you can definitely fit a few in. And in terms of the kimbap, that one definitely hits the spot. Like if you're hungry, go for that. Like you won't be disappointed. We are pretty much done with these snacks here, but we're not done with this video. Let me take you to our next location that's on this list. It's not too far. It's still in Eastwood. So let's go now. And just steps away is a place called Arirang, which opened in Eastwood not too long ago. This spot serves the popular Korean hot dog in many different variations. For example, you can get the classic sausage in batter then deep fried, or you can get cheese in the batter coated in potatoes and then deep fried. They also have available a series of self-serve toppings and sauces, including tomato, honey mustard, and barbecue, and a range of powders including coconut sugar, cheddar, and garlic butter. So I've got two different types of hot dogs that I want to feature in this video today. So the first one that I've got is just sausage. You see them dip it into the batter and then put it into the oil, and they have a timer to make sure that they fry it for the optimal amount of time. And I added some tomato sauce and also mustard, which I love that stuff, so I might add some more in just a bit. But I'm excited. And then the other one is like half and half. So it has like mozzarella cheese, has sausage, and it has a whole bunch of potatoes on top. First bite of the hot dog. There's something about a corn dog, like having sausage in bread and then fried. And then when you add tomato sauce, that just makes it so good. It's very crispy on the outside and it's quite doughy on the inside. And then the sausage, it tastes pretty good as well. All right, we are now done with the first one. That was just the sausage. Now we move on to our next one. So this is a potato half and half. It has sausage, it has mozzarella, and it also has potato on the outside, so it looks a little bit like it has spikes. It's like potato spikes, and it's definitely a lot larger than the first one that we have. So to this one, I added a whole bunch of tomato sauce, some mustard, and also some garlic butter powder. They do have the option of adding cheese as well, but I can't eat too much cheese, and there's already mozzarella in this, so I will refrain. But this looks pretty good. Just so that you get a sense of how big this is how big it is compared to my face. I have a pretty, you know, not small face, and this is kind of like the length of my face. Anyway, enough of me talking, let's give this a go. It's like chips on the outside, and then you've got that cheese that is just like so stringy because it's melted, and then you've got that breading. It's like a combination of cheesy potatoes and then sausage on the bottom. This is like a meal in itself. It's not just a snack. It will fill you up. So yeah, if you're looking to get some hot dogs like this one, definitely check this place out. If you do like potatoes and you do like cheese, check out their half and half, because the potatoes are really crispy, the cheese is really stringy, and you kind of get the best of both worlds. You know, you get half cheese, half sausage. But for me, because I can't eat too much cheese, my preference is actually the original one, especially with the tomato sauce and the mustard. They also do toast here as well, like the really thick toast, which I will be featuring in this video as well, just at another cafe, which we're getting to right now. It's also in Eastwood, so without further ado, let's go. All right, we're walking up the slope of Eastwood shops to a relatively new cafe called 10,000 Coffee. There's actually another shop by a very similar name across the road, but for this episode, we're talking about this one. This place actually does really delicious specialty coffee, but today we're here for their egg toast. Egg drop in Korea has become very popular, and when something similar opened in Sydney, I decided I had to try it out. We have just arrived at 10,000 Coffee here in Eastwood, and what I've got is one of their signature toasts. It's a ham and bacon toast, and they've got really thick pieces of toast. They have a range of different options in terms of what filling you want in there, and they've also got a couple options in terms of breads. Now, a lot of these options, other than the one that I've got, have cheese in it, which I try to avoid when I can. The ham and the bacon one is what I typically get when I come here, and it's just arrived. Thank you so much. Okay, so this toast is absolutely massive. There's a reason why they give you a fork with this, because this is how massive it is. I'd probably dislocate my jaw if I tried to just eat this. Anyway, there's a lot of egg in this, just sort of stuffed in between these two pieces of white bread, and they've toasted it slightly, so like the exterior is still quite crispy and crunchy, and they've got a bit of chives on top as well. The egg is extremely creamy. And they've also got, I think, some sort of mayonnaise, just a little bit on top as well, because you can taste a little bit of that in the eggs. So how I typically tackle this huge thing of egg and bacon sandwich is to eat some of the eggs that's on top first, and then like squish the bread together and just go from there. If you love eggs, you definitely like this. I know the title of this video is snacks, but this is not a snack. This is a meal in itself. It's hard not to be full after this. And you definitely have to try their coffee as well. I reckon their coffee here is pretty good too. What I do appreciate is that because their toast is so thick, even though there's so much scrambled eggs inside this sandwich, it doesn't get soggy at all. Like the exterior is still really crisp, and then the inside is really soft and fluffy. If you're hungry and you're craving eggs or you're craving breakfast food, you can't go wrong with this. And we are pretty much done with 10,000 Coffee, but we're not done with the restaurants in Eastwood just yet. There's another place that I want to show you that's just steps away from where we're at, so. Next, we walk a few steps down to a place called Jean's Chili Chicken. This is actually located within Eastwood Hotel and is a pretty decent place for Korean fried chicken. Here you can order many variations of chicken, and it's never not satisfying. So now whenever I think about Korean snacks, I think about Korean fried chicken, and this portion of the video is going to be about Korean fried chicken. And there's a place in Eastwood called Jean's Chili Chicken that my brother loves. He comes here a lot for fried chicken, and he gets their half and half, and that's exactly what I'm getting right now. Okay, so in terms of the side dishes, we've got this rice with seaweed, and we've also got gloves, so we can make this into like little rice balls that goes really well with the chicken. We've also got radish, which if you're ordering the chili chicken, which is actually extremely spicy, the radish sort of like mitigates some of the spices, and the mayonnaise pasta also does the same as well. And the kimchi, you know, you can't go wrong with kimchi. Okay, so this is the exact description of what we ended up getting. So we got Jean's fried chicken, assorted chicken pieces coated in mayo, mustard, and chili sauce. And we've also got EQ honey chicken, which is chicken pieces marinated in Jean's sweet chili sauce. Let's start with the fried chicken. All right, here is the first bite of Jean's fried chicken. It's so crispy on the outside, and then the meat on the inside, it's still so juicy and so tender. The chili sauce is actually quite chilly, but because it's not completely doused in it, it's not unbearable. You've got that little bit of a kick. And then whenever I come here with my brother, what he always does is he like gets a few bites of chicken, and then he like pairs it with the rice ball. Chicken and rice, especially with the seaweed and the flavorings that they've got in there, honestly, you can't really go wrong with that. I do love how crispy this chicken is, and it's not overly oily, which is what I appreciate. Like I said before, the chili sauce is quite chilly, and so you do order their chili chicken, which is, you know, the name of their restaurant. So if you like chili stuff, you should definitely give that a go. Just bear in mind that it is quite spicy, but I guess that's why you have the radish to help counteract that spice. So a full thing of chicken is 800 grams, so half is 400 grams each, which is great if you want to try out different flavors. Okay, and now we tried the EQ honey chicken. This is the one that's marinated with Jean's sweet chili sauce, and it definitely looks very, very saucy. This one is not as crispy as the one we've just had, probably because it's doused in that sauce, but it's got a really good flavor. It's got like a hint of chili. It's still very sweet, but it's also very appetizing. And this sauce, this is one of those sauces that would be perfect with rice. Usually I'd eat this with my hands, but I need to work 2 cameras, so I'm using chopsticks instead. It's too annoying to keep wiping my hands, and anyway. It's the best combo of spicy, sour, salty, slightly sweet as well, and I imagine this would be the perfect addition to the little rice balls that we've already made. In terms of the side dishes, the pickled radish, it's really nice and tart and cooling as well. The mayonnaise pasta, it's quite creamy, and this also counteracts the spices of the chicken if you're looking to eat one of the chili chickens. And the kimchi, I haven't tried that yet, so let me try that right now. This kimchi is so good. I wouldn't say this is the best fried chicken in Sydney, but I do think that they're both really tasty, and if you're craving some crispy chicken, if you're craving some fried chicken, I don't think you can go wrong at Jean's Chili Chicken. I don't know where the best Korean fried chicken is, so if you do know a place that you reckon is the best, please let me know, because I'd love to check it out. Alright, we are pretty much done here at Jean's Chili Chicken, and we're pretty much done with all the restaurants that I wanted to feature here in Eastwood, but we're not done with this video yet. We are now heading to another suburb to check out even more Korean snacks.
Now this next suburb is on the same train line as Eastwood, and just a few stops down the northern line is Strathfield. And when here, you can also find a variety of Korean food, snacks and dessert. I've made an entire video on Korean food in Strathfield, which I'll link in my description if you're interested, but for now, we're heading to a place called Mandoo.
We have just arrived at a restaurant here in Strathfield that does really delicious Korean dumplings. Now they do a series of different types of dumplings. There's like pork dumplings, there's kimchi with pork, there's prawn and pork. There's a whole series of different types. And what I've got is sort of one of the more popular ones. It's a kimchi and pork dumpling. There's 5 on this little platter. It's massive and it smells really good. And it also comes with like a dipping sauce kind of thing. So I'm gonna cut into it and eat it before it gets cold. So this is that massive kimchi pork dumpling that I was talking about. So the dumpling itself isn't too spicy, but you can definitely taste the kimchi in there. There's bits of pork, there's some glass noodles, and there's also that crunch of the kimchi. The wrapper itself isn't too thick. It's quite thin, but it holds together the fillings very well. Now I've just had this without the dipping sauce, so I'm gonna try this again with the dipping sauce to see how it is. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Dumplings with sauce just taste that much better. And the one that we have, it's a bit vinegary, it's a bit tart. It's the perfect sauce to sort of cut through a little bit of the spiciness of the dumpling. It's really good. I really like it. You should definitely check it out if you're looking for Korean dumplings here in Sydney. I really appreciate that this is not overly spicy. Like, you can taste that flavor of the kimchi, but it doesn't like numb your mouth. We are done with these dumplings, but we're not done with the video. Let me take you to the next place that I have on my list.
And last but definitely not least, we head to a local Korean supermarket to find a drink to wash everything down.
We're gonna be trying 2 different drinks, both of which I've actually never had before, but my friends have told me that they really like it and they're like, you have to include this in your video. So I've got a banana milk and also a melon flavored milk drink. I think I'll give the banana one a go first. It's quite nice. It's like a banana smoothie, but not as thick. Okay, let me try the melon one. I have a feeling I know what this is gonna taste like. I've had the melon ice blocks before. This melon one is really good. I actually prefer the melon one over the banana one. The flavor of the melon milk drink tastes more like melon than the banana milk drink tastes like banana. This is like the liquid form of the melon ice block. And that is pretty much it for this video. If you're still watching, thank you so much for watching till the end. If there are any other countries you'd like us to travel to, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and make it happen. I post new videos every week. Check them out if you have time. Have an amazing rest of the day and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Okay, I'm out of, like, come back in.